Hello, and welcome to this Friday edition of Spittin' Sports with Lamar. I am Casey Lamar, and I'm coming at you from the 256. Don't forget, if you enjoy this content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. But today, just a few headlines, just a few quick ones from last night's preseason games. Ones that you may have already seen, but I'm still going to just touch on them very quickly. And then I'll talk about the PGA Championship. I know it's kind of ongoing, but I'm going to mention something about that as well. But last night we saw the debut of Saquon Barkley and Baker Mayfield. This is Saquon Barkley. He had 4 carries for 43 yards. 39 of those yards came on that carry alone to open the game. Making a couple guys miss, finding the hole, running around guys, running by guys, doing what he did at Penn State. Shot his fantasy stock up probably about tenfold. A lot of people went crazy over it. That was obviously a nice play from Saquon Barkley. Don't get too crazy yet. It's one play, but good. Looks like good things to come from Saquon Barkley. Next, Baker Mayfield. A lot of people went crazy over his game, saying, "Oh, he's arrived, this, that, and the other." No, he has not arrived. He's still not the starter in Cleveland, but he did have a good game. He did only complete 11 of 20 passes, but he did throw for 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he had 3 carries for 13 yards. A lot of people freaked out about it. It was one game, and it was 2 quarters, and it wasn't the starters that he was playing against. But it was nice to see him make some plays. That's what you expect out of the number 1 pick. The Browns did end up winning this game 20-10, but that's besides the point. It's preseason. There you see Antonio Callaway. He caught the second of Baker Mayfield's touchdown passes. He had 3 catches for 87 yards and a touchdown. But Antonio Callaway, he was cited just the other day for marijuana, and they said they found gun parts in his car, all kinds of stuff. He seems like he can't stay away from trouble ever since going back to Florida. Still was a pretty decent, high draft pick of the Browns, 3rd or 4th round. But it seems like he still can't stay out of trouble even now. But Baker Mayfield, he did have a good game. Don't go too crazy about it. It was one game. He is going to be the backup as far as it is seen. Tyrod Taylor, he did nothing to lose the job. He's been around. Unless he does something really bad or plays really bad or gets hurt, it looks like it's going to be his football team to quarterback for. Another note, somebody I mentioned in my tight end fantasy football talk, David Njoku, he had 2 catches for 46 yards and 2 touchdowns while he was in the game. I do believe he will see his fair share of targets. And then Jarvis Landry in his first game in a Browns uniform had 2 catches for 36 yards. But Saquon Barkley, Baker Mayfield both made plays in their first time on the field, what you expect out of the number 1 and number 2 picks. So it's good to see that. Don't get too crazy, especially on the Baker Mayfield. He's the backup. Saquon will be the starter. Saquon Barkley will be the starter. But don't get too crazy. One game. Just one game. One last thing from from preseason games last night. Darius Geis, looked for him to be the starter in Washington. He sprained his MCL. I know I mentioned he had one of those awkward knee injuries, which he did, but it ends up that it's only a sprained MCL, thankfully for him. But that's great news for Darius Geis and the Redskins. Good to know that it was only just a scare, nothing crazy. But the last thing about football, Des Bryant, him and the Browns are expected to meet next week. Browns looking for more receivers. Josh Gordon, it's a question when he's going to come back, even though he is expected to come back. But just add more hands and more playmakers to that offense. The Browns may win a couple games they shouldn't this year, but that's to be seen when the season gets going. Last topic I wanted to cover, the PGA Championship. The second round is currently ongoing, so some of this stuff may change by the time you see it or whatever it may be. But Gary Woodland is still in the lead. He's at 10 under. He shot 4 under today. Kevin Kistner, name we heard a lot in the Open Championship. He's at 9 under. He shot -6 today. Very good day for him. He shot a 64. Brooks Koepka tied major record. He shot a 63. He shot a 7 under. He's at 8 under for the tournament. Dustin Johnson, he's at 7 under for the tournament after shooting -4 today. Charles Schwartzel, he's at 7 under after shooting 7 under today. Just a couple people I wanted to mention, some of the bigger names. Man that won the Open Championship, Francesco Molinari, he's at -5 for the tournament. He shot 3 under today. Ricky Fowler has just teed off in the last 45 minutes, so he's currently playing, but he started at -5, tied for ninth with Molinari. Tiger Woods tees off in just a few minutes at 1:48 Central Time. These are all Central Time. And then Phil Mickelson, he tees off at 1:26, which means he already teed off. He's only through one as of now, and he is still at +3. And then Justin Thomas, he will tee off at 1:48 with Tiger Woods. The thing I wanted to mention about the PGA Championship, I may do towards the end of the round, towards 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock Central, when these guys are wrapping up their rounds, some of the big names, Woods, Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler. I may do a live stream on here depending on if my DirecTV will work correctly. I may do a live stream over the last several holes for those players so we can watch it, talk about it, whatever that may be. We'll see how it goes and what comes up. But that's all I have for today. Wasn't much different from last night, but that's all for now. That's all I got for now. Remember, if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It does mean a lot, and it's very appreciated. But this has been Spittin' Sports with Lamar. I am Casey Lamar, and I look forward to talking to you guys all on Monday.